Hello everybody, this is Alchemist, and this is not the way it should have been. But it's where we are now. Yes, this is my life. This is my life. So, you probably tell from the title what this video is about. What's about to happen to me. Consider this my apocalyptic log. Once upon a time, I started watching through Picard for patrons, and I put my my recorded reactions up on the Patreon. Today, though, this is a higher battle. This is. I just bumped the microphone. Apologies. It's a little. The setup here is a little bit wonky. So you're gonna have to pardon the odd pickup of my voice at times because of how I have to be angled to look at the screen. I'm not putting the video up on YouTube because I don't want to get copyright struck. But if you have the bravery to follow along, I'm hitting watch now. So this is set in the 24th century. I don't understand how Giorgio still looks like she did in Discovery, because this is like... She would have been sent back to the 2250s. So this is... We're looking at... So this is in the 2320s. So we're looking on the order of at least 60 years. So there appears to be some issues with continuity. Who could have guessed? We're starting off right off the bat with the Paramount logo. No ads. No, oh no, they're not even running it, and the logo's mirrored. Get it? Because mirror universe. The logo is a flying piece of crap. Oh, the Star Trek logo's mirrored also. It's because she's from the mirror universe. Do you get it yet? Buckle in, people. Fate, who makes the sword, does the forging in advance. Okay, we're beginning with some pretentiousness. Also, a warning for flashing lights. The Terran Empire. Subtitles that are for some reason reflected in the water next to the shore. Okay. Is he building the sign? No, he's making a sword. Some kind of farm? What are they farming? Looks like giant-ass rutabagas or something. Okay, I know that this is Micro Giorgio who just pulled up. Big tracking shot. Lots of slow-mo already. And a windmill. How shitty is the infrastructure in the Terran Empire when they need windmills to power their... I wouldn't even call it a hobbit home. It's kind of just it's kind of just like a fucking ramshackle tent that wouldn't protect you from the elements at all. some kind of selection process. Okay, so they had a bunch of kids that made them compete against each other, and they sort of killed each other over time. Oh, is Sans in this? Is he going to turn into a skeleton, and is Jojo going to have a bad day? This is how they... Wait. This is how they're picking the Emperor? Okay. Okay, so the last trial is to murder your entire family? So, okay. Our hero, ladies and gentlemen. Philippa Georgiou, Cannibal Hitler. Also murdered her own family. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Our hero. Good job. Good job making me hate this character more than I already did. This is not how you make people give a shit about a character. Oh, she's so sad. Yes, so how sad for you that you murdered everybody who ever loved you. The fuck? What? The shit? Did the fucking Death Star just show up? What? Pause. What the fuck is that? Is that the sticks? Is that the... What in the actual flying fuck am I looking at? Why the fuck is it straight vertical? They're like like the Terran sticks from like fucking Star Trek Online is basically just straight. Like, it's bigger than the mountains, for fuck's sake, and it's straight vertical, hovering just sort of like it's like hovering straight vertical, just like a couple 100 meters off the ground. What the fuck? I'm sorry, that's not how anything works. What the shit? Why would you need to park a ship that big, being that close to the surface of a planet means that ship is screwed. Why would you want to park your ship so far up a planet's ass? Heady play. And they're beaming. Did you have to do that? Also, where is it in the picture? And they're beaming like a whole fucking army down the mirror. Why would you need to do that to beam down? And where is the ship in the fucking background? You succeeded where the other guy couldn't. This guy wouldn't murder his entire family. What a pussy, huh? Okay, it's the sword of dead. That's the sword she had is in Discovery. That's the Mirror Emperor sword from like Stowe. Okay, she gonna cut his head off? She gonna cut his head off. No! She's gonna take the red hot sword and pointlessly disfigure him. Okay. So, the Emperor has to be a little shit who doesn't know how to run a fucking thing, but is just willing to kill anyone and everyone around them. Oh, in control. Okay, I don't need to see this recap. I was there. It was stupid. I'm just gonna mute as I fucking... Oh yeah, the Guardian of Forever. By the way, the Guardian of Forever isn't some ageless, inscrutable alien force put there by a long-forgotten alien race for purposes that we will never, ever know, because it's simply not ours to know. It's just a fat guy in a coat named Carl. Fuck Discovery. I hate that fucking show. Apparently the Federation lost a game of Catan with the Cardassians, and now they have no access to this area of space. Despite there being blue Federation territory there. Okay, I'm also pretty sure that was the Star Trek Adventures map that they just used. You have 24 hours to complete the mission. That's not how any of this works. You can't get... It's a galaxy, not a planet. You can't just catch the red eye to where, like, your mission is. Warp travel takes weeks to months. Okay, it looks like some kind of Suliban station. Or it's just a star, or it's just like some random... Okay. Here's the electric guitars. Another thing we can thank Discovery for, shoving contemporary music into a futuristic setting. Yes, I know First Contact played Magic Carpet Ride, but that was a guy in the 21st century playing that. Okay, that was a guy in a post-apocalypse who probably grew up with, like, a bunch of CDs or cassettes of like Steppenwolf and like other music to keep him company. I can believe Zephyr Cochrane playing Magic Carpet Ride. Okay, I know that that actress is playing Rachel Garrett, which is dumb, but okay. Okay, so you're supposed to be dead. Your entire species is dead. And Giorgio is introduced eating people. We're really not beating the cannibal allegations here. Okay, he's got like a box of illegal shit. He's trying to sell like keys of space coke. Oh, is this the guy? Is this the thing where like the cop snorts coke just to like get himself ingratiated? That's what this is. Oh, there's the first curse. Pausing. 1453 is where I paused at, if you're watching along. So it amuses me to no end. I used to catch so much stuff for my dirty mouth. I used to have much more of a potty mouth than I do now. But I used to catch a lot of crap from people when I would do a Star Trek video, but I would have a potty mouth doing it. You know, I would curse because I'm not an actor on Star Trek. I'm playing a fucking video game, right? But I would get crap for cursing about it. But it amuses me to no end that modern Star Trek is 10 times more profane and degenerate than I ever could have been. Especially when it comes to like the shoehorning of all the foul language. Especially in Discovery. Jesus wept. So yeah. How do you like me now? I am low key compared to the Star Trek actually being produced. Now I'm mellow compared to the Star Trek actually being produced. Ugh. Pause. I'm pausing. Mech life. This guy is wearing a fucking robot suit. This is already incredibly cringe. I think she's doing just fine living with all her memories, dude. Why would you want to bring the genocidal cannibal emperor back into anything on a galactic scale? I don't know. It looks like tending bar is working. Okay, they've got a... What the fuck is that? The fuck is that? Stop! Stop! Mecha dysmorphia. Mecha dys... Oh no. Oh no. have a bad time, aren't we? Oh, oh, that one actually hurt. Oh no! Okay, hitting play. Driving. Oh god! Oh shit! What the fuck? What the fuck? Pause. I'm in 1945. What the fuck? What? Hello, my name is... Ah! Oh, God. So when he was laughing, I thought he was just like a fucking Romulan or something. No! No, it's so much stupider! Oh, he's like the fucking robot people in Men in Black. He's got a little alien inside of him, piloting a mech suit shaped like a Vulcan. Why? Why is there a little alien piloting a Vulcan mech suit? Oh. No, you know what this is? This is from Doctor Who. So there's back in the 11th Doctor, there was these people who were like miniaturized running around in like a robot ship that was shaped like like people. And they would use this thing to sort of like go to like various time periods and clean up things from like when like time travelers screwed things up. And that's what this is. And he's got a little pod. He's controlling him from a little pod. Like in inner space. Like he's fucking Dennis Quaid. Like, oh. What the fuck? He looks like the fucking sad... He looks like the fucking, like, sad Japanese fish. Hitting play. Jesus! Oh god. Pause. Why does the Delton Mojo work on something that is inside of a pod, inside of a robot Vulcan suit that doesn't even have anything resembling approximate or compatible anatomy? Why does it work on him? Why does he care? He was just complaining about being locked in to a Vulcan robot suit. Who locked him in and why? I'm pretty sure nanokin were just made up for this. He's a nanokin. He's a little bugger. He's a little sad fish thing with an anger management problem. I can just see Keith David from Armageddon when he's talking about like the drillers. This is a bunch of retards I wouldn't trust with a fucking potato gun. And this is the best Section 31 has? Are you kidding me? I don't have enough drink for this. Section 31, who are all about being nondescript, covert, rumor, and nothing more. They don't have ships. They don't have headquarters. They don't have armadas. They don't have drone fleets. They don't have mines with blades on them. They don't dress flashy. They don't have these problems with temperament, because recruiting people with those kinds of temperament issues would make for bad operatives. Oh. You remember in Deep Space Nine when Section 31 was just a guy? Just one guy, essentially. And you had no idea whatsoever whether or not, or how far it went, or like whether or not this was he outright said there's no headquarters, there's no organization to their organization, right? It was literally just one guy. There's a movie. I'm gonna give you a better Section 31 movie that I know what we're already gonna get. Okay, I'm gonna give you a better one. There's a movie called 3 Days of the Condor. That's a better Section 31 movie. Oh, that's how you make your fucking Section 31 movie. 3 Days of the Condor. Go watch it. Unpausing. Who did you piss off to get stuck in Black Ops? Section 31 isn't Black Ops. Section 31 is no ops. Section 31 is not supposed to be known by anyone under any circumstances. If it is, they have fucked up. But you could basically summarize this entire movie. From everything I've read, you could summarize this entire movie with that one sentence. They have fucked up. Unpausing. Pausing. This is so stupid, my voice just broke. Starfleet is here to keep the peace and make sure nobody commits murder. Yeah, because I'm certain that all Black Ops are clean, right? All covert ops are completely clean. Starfleet is here with Section 31, whose Starfleet, the majority of whom are not supposed to be aware of. So why the fuck are you aware of it, Miss Tender Age of Lieutenant? This is so fucking stupid. This is so fucking stupid. Jesus Christ. The whole point of Section 31, all right, is it is a wild interpretation. It has existed before the Federation. Okay, it existed when its existence goes all the way back to United Earth Starfleet. Before Enterprise, before the Federation. And when they were drawing up the uniform code for Starfleet, I think it's Article 19, Section 31, 14 or 19, one of those, stated that in extraordinary situations, a Starfleet captain has a lot of latitude in what they do to preserve their ship and crew. Like, they're to do whatever is necessary. And this interpretation was basically taken by members of Starfleet to mean that it's totally okay to do all kinds of covert shit behind Starfleet's back to preserve Starfleet and United Earth. And when the Federation Charter was ratified and the Federation was formed, that extended to the United Federation of Planets Starfleet. So Section 31 exists due to a loophole in Starfleet's uniform code. It's not an official thing. Now, the higher-ups in Starfleet, the Admiralty, knows that Section 31 exists. They're complicit with Section 31. But they will never officially acknowledge their existence. In the rare cases, like in Deep Space Nine, where Section 31's existence is discovered and brought to the attention of the Federation Council, the Federation basically tells Starfleet, forget that it happened. Do not talk about it. So, 31 isn't official. It has no official standing whatsoever. So it has no official standing. Starfleet officers are not supposed to even know that it exists. So why the fuck would you send a Starfleet officer to babysit them? And why the fuck would you send a Starfleet officer to make sure your Black Ops assignment follows the rules that your Black Ops outfit was intentionally designed to break? I am 21 minutes in. 21:22. This is 70 minutes. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. I'm pausing. I hate all these people. Okay, they're gonna knock out Giorgio and take her place. What the fuck are you doing? What the shit is that? Wow, that's... Pause. That's several $1,000s down the fucking tubes. Just for a visual effect that they did on the cheap in Star Trek 6. In Star Trek 6, it was basically just a morph and fade that they did. Here, I don't know what the fuck that was. They made him turn into a fungus, which... Yes, Kurtzman, I know that you're fungophiliac. I've seen Discovery. I'm 42 minutes into this, man. And I'm only 23 minutes into this fucking movie! Oh, no. I'm gonna have to break this into parts, aren't I? I'm gonna need to take breaks. So the way that I would watch Discovery or Strange New Worlds is every time I ran into the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen, which is often, I would like pause it and watch something else just to blow off steam. Like you do not know how many times I would just pause whatever I was watching, be it Discovery or Strange New Worlds or Prodigy or what have you, and just go watch fucking Babylon 5. Just, like, watch a few episodes of Babylon 5 or watch The Orville. Watch Farscape or watch Deep Space Nine. And then come back and finish. And watch, like, 20 or 30 minutes more. And then pause again and go watch something else because I can't fucking take it. How dumb these shows are. Okay. So they wanted to knock out and place Giorgio to meet with this bioweapons guy who's hawking something on the station. Who, for some reason, looks like a fucking Borg drone. Oh, God! Yep, pause. How the fuck are you gonna unleash the full weight of Starfleet outside of Federation space in the sovereign space of another interstellar power? Let me get this straight. If Starfleet has a fucking armada just sitting on the border, what is the fucking point of a covert operation? If you're gonna send them, like, an entire armada in here to blast the place anyways, just fucking do it! Oh, I hate this movie. 24 minutes! This is an actual line that just happened in Star Trek. Is meh. I fucking hate these writers. Oh, fuck. I hate these writers. I hate these writers and I hate this movie. 24:57. I'm not even a third of the way to the movie. Oh god. Oh no. Okay. Ugh. I might have to go get some fucking comfort food, man. I might have to go get some fucking comfort food. No, nothing greasy. I'm probably just go like, oh my god. Just grab like a bag of beef jerky or something. Asmongold my way through this shit. Oh my god. Ugh. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's a terrible movie. It should be ashamed of itself. My finger is on the button. Push the button. I would rather watch Sonic 3. I'd rather be watching Sonic 3 right now. Giorgio has a simpler idea. That simpler idea is basically just do their entire plan minus the parts involving her. Is that spin necessary? Okay, hold on. So what happens is Giorgio goes to meet with this guy with their target. She attaches a device to the case and attaches the device to herself that changes her vibrational frequency so that she just passes through objects. Now, they're talking about being out of phase. Out of phase in Star Trek traditionally means out of temporal phase, and I'm going to walk you through this real quick. There's different kinds of time travel. Being out of temporal phase with something is two-dimensional time travel, where you've kind of sidestepped, right? You're essentially like lacking. You're just ever so slightly forward or behind. You've sidestepped the normal flow of time, but you're still present in it, if that makes any sense. This is why LaForge and Roe can run around on the Enterprise and not pass through the Enterprise, although they do. Try not to think about that. But this is different. This is vibrational phase, which means that the frequency of Giorgio and the box's atoms has been altered sufficiently to pass through solid objects. This guy literally pulls out a disruptor and starts blasting, and it just goes straight through her. So here's my problem with that. You are now out of phase with the floor. You've altered your vibrational frequency so that you pass through solid objects. So why aren't you passing through the floor? If it was like a temporal phase thing, sure, fine, whatever. But she's just standing right in front of this guy. She's just vibrating herself like she's the Flash, essentially. Okay. Watch her go through a wall. If she can go through the walls, there is no fucking reason why she should be able to stand on the fucking floor. Giorgio should be dead. Roll credits. 26:53, hitting play. Okay, so that guy clearly isn't human. What the fuck? Are the Frighteners showing up? What the shit? Somebody's got the same thing she does, and they just walk through a wall. Giorgio should be dead. Both of you should be dead. Okay, so this is obviously her buddy, who she disfigured when she was a baby emperor. Okay, she's got like a personal shield, which is about 100 years too early, but sure, whatever. And she just got kicked through a wall! I'm pretty sure that was a naked Andorian just now. So, full frontal nudity in your Star Trek? Yeah, I'm sure this is gonna age real well. Pausing. I'm just gonna say this. When I was a little kid, I went to my first Star Trek convention when I was a little kid, and what I saw there were grandparents sitting with their kids, sitting with their grandkids, watching episodes of Next Gen and the original series. There's something timeless about those shows that entire generation that makes it so generations of a family can enjoy them together and talk about them after. And that has given them a sort of life beyond what you would expect a TV show to have. Life long beyond the ones who originally wrote and created it. So how? So that being the case, that's a big reason why Star Trek lasted as long as it did as part of the cultural lexicon, because it sure as hell isn't anymore because of all this garbage that's been pumped out. But in that context, how long do you think these fucking shows, how poorly are shows like Discovery with its full frontal Klingon rape, like full frontal Klingon nudity, torture and rape, severed heads and everything, and this and shit like this? How poorly is this going to age out? Discovery's corpse was barely cold when Lower Decks implied that it was an alternate reality. So that is already happening. So just these shows are terrible. They're terrible. They're fucking terrible. And they're gonna age like milk. If I were someone who was creating something, if I was a creative and I was working on something, I would want it to last. I would want to make it so that families can watch it together, because I want grandparents to watch it with their grandkids. I want their grandkids to be able to enjoy it and get into it. I would want generations of people to share my work with one another and pass it along. Because I would like my work to stand on its own long enough to live to still be alive and thriving long after I'm gone. That's what I would want. That's not going to happen with these shows. That's not going to happen with Strange New Worlds. That's not going to happen with Discovery. That's sure as fuck not going to happen with Section 31. Where the fuck am I? 29 minutes. This recording is at the 59. I'm at the 59-minute mark. And I'm only 29. I'm only like just barely under 30 minutes into this fucking movie. Oh, I'm gonna have to cut this into pieces. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, this isn't good. This isn't good. Okay. I legit, like, I legit may need to walk away and just sort of, like, decompress. I'm gonna have to do this in fucking stages. And they fight, and they fight, and they fight, and they fight. And they busted into the ballroom. Delton tried shit on him. And Delton's dead. Oh no! The Delton! We knew you so well, we didn't. Yes, get the extra off the stage, because I... Yeah, and another dumbass camera move. Yeah, this is sand. This is... Why are we hiding who this guy is? Oh, God. These fucking cameras. Oh, Jesus. You couldn't have telegraphed this harder if, like... Everybody's cheering. I have no idea what the fuck's going on, but people are dying. Whee! I literally watched someone get murdered in front of me. Hooray! Okay, pause. She just ran through like 2 or 3 walls, trips and falls, and hits the floor. Hold on a fucking second. What's the difference between the walls and the floor? And how did your foot get stuck in the wall? She should have just tripped and flown out of the fucking station. Giorgio's dead. Roll credits. This is so fucking stupid. If your body has a completely different vibrational frequency to the point where it can pass through solid matter, why the fuck didn't your foot just detach from you? Because if the rest of your body is passing through solid matter, if the atoms have been agitated so that it can just phase through solid matter, and your foot is no longer phased, why the fuck is it still attached? You should be footless. You should be footloose. You should be dead, because you should be floating in space. It's 31 minutes. Ah! How did turning it off do anything? Hold up. You should... So, you're phased, you fall through the wall, you turn it off. How the fuck do you still have a foot? You just bisected your leg. You literally just amputated yourself. This shit ain't like a fucking Windows PC. You can't just turn it off and turn it on again. I mean, I'm certain that's what's about to happen. Oh, oh no. No, 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 no. This is terrible. This is terrible! 31, 34. Jesus Christ. Oh, not even a third of the way through. I'm pausing. It's an egg. There was an egg in the box. That's impossible. You're about to say that's not possible. Close enough. I had that destroyed. Well, you had it destroyed in another... She turned it off and turned it back on again. Okay, this guy wants to know what the fuck it is. She's not speaking up. And shot. Shot in the face. Okay, flashing back to being Terran Emperor. The Terran Empire, no fucking shit, a lifetime ago. More like 60 years ago. Just say 60 years. All right, Aldo. Her coat is a hologram. Her. So her coat is like a hologram that fills the fucking room. I'm starting to make fucking feral noises. This is so aggravating. Her coat. I'm trying. Her coat. Her fucking cape as Terran Emperor stretches across the room. It's a holographic cape that just occupies 90% of the space of whatever room she's in. Does it only do it in this room? Does it only work if you stand in one part of the room? Like, I thought at first that was like a sculpture or a fixture or something, like a big dragon. No, no, no. It's literally just her fucking cape. It doesn't even come alive and eat someone. It's just there, taking up the entire fucking room. Why? Why is it there? Why is it taking up the entire room? Wouldn't that be fucking annoying to everybody, including the person wearing it? Or is this just your cape room where you just stand here specifically to have your cape turned into a dragon, just to stand there and have your cape turned into a dragon while you contemplate. I don't even know. It looks like a map or something. This is the map room where I go to turn my cape into a dragon? It's so fucking stupid. Oh god. I'm pausing, like I'm at 32 minutes. 32:56. I'm pausing so often, but that's only because every like half minute or so, the dumbest thing I've ever fucking seen happens. This is how it feels like to be me and watch Star Trek Discovery. I hope you're having fun. Oh. So this is Sans. Okay, so this is a tchotchke she had built. All the engineers killed themselves. So this is a doomsday weapon of some kind. So San is crying because he's... I wouldn't want to look at you ever again. I'm pretty sure he remembers who you were because you burned half his fucking face off. And then you burned his face off, so why the fuck are you talking about wanting... Oh, okay, so that might not be Sans. Okay, so everybody involved with this weapon murdered themselves. Well, is it murder if you kill yourself? I don't know. Suicide. They all poison themselves. Where the fuck are... Oh my god. I don't have the will for this. Pause. I am at 37:15. Not even halfway through this piece of shit! But I need to tap out for now because I am out of time. Oh, I'm gonna have to do multiple parts of this. Oh no. Why the fuck did I sign up for this? I'm doing this in thirds. I've decided upon that so that I don't lose all joy for living. So I'm currently at 37:18. I'm not even at the halfway point of this fucking movie. There's still 57 minutes left. 58, actually. Oh my god. So the guy is trying to interrogate Giorgio as to what the tchotchke is. But hitting play. Yeah, why would you choose Giorgio? Okay, big guys. Oh, big guy's a cryo sleeper. Oh, he's an augment. Okay, so that's why he's super strong. Hold up. What the fuck are you talking about, augments taking your planet? What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, so hold up. I just paused at 38:54. Okay, so this guy's talking about. So he was born in the 20th century. So in the Star Trek timeline, the eugenics wars happened in like the 90s. Like from the year 1996, as Ricardo Montalban said. So, this guy is saying that the eugenics wars were interplanetary, which wasn't the case, and that like augments took over his planet, which couldn't have fucking happened. And I don't know what the fuck is going on at this point. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, all of Khan's followers, all the people who were taking over, like, who were, like, conquering, like, the world, essentially, they all got stuck on a ship and rocketed up into space. That's how that went down. In 96. To put it in perspective, humanity did not achieve faster than light travel and begin colonizing the solar system until after 2063. Almost 70 years later. So, this guy's just spinning bullshit. So, like, either this guy is completely full of shit, or the writers have no idea about anything Star Trek, which I'm more inclined to believe the latter than the former right now. I actually talked about this in the Star Trek Online stuff that I do. Is I got a book, the Star Trek chronology, history of the future, with brand new stuff from Star Trek First Contact, which should tell you how old that book is, and yeah, it's a pretty definitive fucking timeline. It's pretty well laid out. I don't understand why New Trek has so many problems. Although, okay, so I do understand one problem is they keep wanting to make Star Trek our world when it is not. They keep wanting to make, because there were no eugenics wars in 1996, they tried to move the eugenics wars to like the mid 20th century in Strange New Worlds, because they're hacks, basically. They called her Giddy the Marked. That's what I'm stuck on right now. Okay. Surprised they could call her anything if there were, like, if you were born in the 20th century, if you were born in the 20th, I'm going to let him finish. I'm at, again, I'm at 3854. I'm going to let this guy finish. I'm going to let you finish. Pause. So for tyrants, there is only one choice: murder. Actually, if you watch the TOS episode Space Seed, Kirk and company are actually kind of starstruck at meeting Khan. He was considered the best of the tyrants because he didn't behave like a lunatic dictator. Like the things that Khan was still like he was still like nefarious. Don't get me wrong. But, like, all the things that, for example, Gul Dukat claimed to puff up his ego and deny the crimes that he committed, were the things that Khan actually did. Like, Khan is a version of Gul Dukat that actually lived up to his bluster, essentially. In terms of, well, I wasn't really that bad, was I? Now, he was bad. Don't get me wrong, not justifying what he did, but in the context of human history, he was definitely a lighter shade of black than most. Didn't make him a good guy, didn't make him a guy I'd like to live under, but I'm just laying that out there. So according to this guy, in the 20th century, there were planets that were colonized. Augments came to conquer those planets. He got turned into an augment, and when the augments lost, he got put into cryosleep. None of this lines up with Star Trek lore at all. This might as well be a completely different franchise at this point. It might as well just be like an original IP, completely different franchise, because none of this is lining up with Star Trek apart from some of the characters' names. Unpausing. Okay, she ordered the weapon to be built. Yes, please explain. Yeah, we're gonna need all half dozen of them. Where the fuck is this? We're doing like a zoom through like the cyberspace level in Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda. The Godsend. Okay, we're in episode 2 of this miniseries now. And we are underneath this place. Alright, here's your slow walk from the trailer. What the fuck is that ship? What? Okay, so I just paused at 40:51. So we know what this thing is now. She calls it the Godsend. Basically, it's like a explosion plague. It passes through planets like a virus. How the fuck does... How? How? How does it do that? This is the same guy who thought a single supernova would wipe out, like, the galaxy. In case you didn't know where the dumb idea for the Romulan supernova came from, for the Hobos supernova came from, you just found out. It was Kurtzman, not Orky. So, apparently this little round tchotchke causes a planet virus that spreads between planets that makes them explode. What? What? So basically, this bitch created, like, an explosion plague that wipes out all of the known universe in case she's ever deposed. This is our protagonist, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm actually really not sorry. Fuck this character and fuck this franchise. Fuck New Trek. Just in general, okay? This character is not redeemable. They are trying so hard to make her seem like she is, but she's not. She cannot be redeemed. She cannot be saved. She is a murderous psychopath that eats people. She is responsible for death on a scale most of these characters can only dream of. And this person isn't redeemable. She is beyond redemption. There's an episode of the new Doctor Who. I suppose it's not really the new Doctor Who anymore, but this is one of 9's episodes. The first season of the revival. I think it was called Boomtown. And in this one episode, he's keeping like an alien under his thumb for the majority of the episode. And they're having dinner, essentially, for reasons. Just follow me. And she starts talking about how she's not that bad, and how she didn't have to like let this one chick go, but she did, because she's not that terrible. And the doctor basically says, "Of course, that's how you do it. That's how you justify to yourself all the murder that you do. It's okay. You're not that bad. You're not responsible for all those deaths because Every once in a while, you were kind to someone, and that's how you rationalize it. That's Giorgio's character in a nutshell. Because she has been kind to a handful of people, a very bare handful of people, does not mean that this character is redeemable in any way, shape, or form. She's not. She is not. This character is a psychopath. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Just because she might have remorse for a thing that she did does not mean that she is redeemable. It takes more than that. One of the best characters in Deep Space Nine is Elam Garak, and Garak is basically a retired fascist. He's actually a step worse than that. He was a fascist torturer. He tortured people. He interrogated people. He destroyed people's lives. Garak is a monster. He's a retired monster, but he's a monster. Make no bones about that. Garak is basically the Federation's equivalent, like towards the end of the series, of all of the Nazis that were, like, for example, recruited into the U.S. space program under Operation Paperclip. Garak is not a hero. Just because he's less of a villain now than he was before does not make him any better of a person. Now, there is a book called A Stitch in Time, which is all about Garak realizing these things about himself and actually choosing, even if he knows he'll never reach it. Like, redemption is not a goal. Redemption is, there's no finish line to redemption. Redemption is a long road, and it takes a lot of strength and willpower to keep walking it. Giorgio does not possess these things. She does not have the will to keep walking that path. She is introduced after being depicted as repentant in Discovery and traveling back to the past. She is introduced eating someone. This woman is not redeemable. I also want to talk about something else. Resume really quick. Pause. Pause! Jesus Christ. Keep up. 40:52. I also want to talk about, this is yet another instance. They're blowing up Vulcan again, right? This is always the fucking case with New Trek. It's always the planet's gonna explode. I remember Stargate SG-1 making fun of this. Like years before fucking, what was it, like season 10? There was an episode called 200. They made fun of this exact kind of writing. This was considered dumb, and that was in the aughts. This was considered dumb and hackneyed then. But here we are. Like, it's... like, where the fuck do you go? Like, there's no such thing as, like, personal stakes in New Trek. Right? It's always the whole, like, all of Starfleet is gathered in one place and they're all going to explode unless we get there in time. Or or Vulcan explodes. Or, like, the fucking... every starship in the universe explodes simultaneously. Or, like, it's always some stupid shit like this in New Trek. There's no such thing as personal stakes. There's no such thing as political stakes. There's no such thing as political espionage, really. Which, this is the thing about Section 31. You'd think it would be more about, like... You'd think it'd be more like the fucking Bourne Identity or something like that. Jesus Christ. They modeled this after Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's a fucking... The Guardians of the Galaxy are like pirate mercenaries. They're not like... They're not spies or secret agents or whatever. They're just a bunch of assholes on a spaceship. Like 3 Days of the Condor, The Hunt for Red October, Spy Games, The Bourne Identity, fucking License to Kill. There's so many great spy movies out there that you could have taken. Spy movies are political thrillers that you could have taken inspiration from. Patriot Games. Fuck. There's so many like mysteries and whodunits you could have taken inspiration from for your Section 31 series. Like, for example, there was this movie I saw it a really long time ago, DOA. The whole movie is about this guy finds out that he's been poisoned, and he's got a very left. He doesn't have much time left, and he's got to figure out who did it to him. There's your spy story. You know, have a character with that hanging over their head over the course of the entire season, and through it all, we really get to know them, and like maybe towards the end of the movie, they find a way out of the predicament. They find a cure. Or use them to introduce the viewers to this world and line up the second season's protagonist as a supporting character. Like, this isn't rocket. This political thriller. Here's the thing. A good political thriller, a good thriller in general, is not rocket scientist. It's not rocket science stuff. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to write it, but you do need a brain. Not a huge brain, just a brain that works. You need to at least know what the fuck you're writing about. I'm not even halfway through this yet. Borgman is, he's supposed to be reminiscent of a Borg. Harper 2.0 is, the leader of the consensus of parts is holding up his hand to ask a question. It is 40:52. Hitting play. Oh God, please. Oh my God, shut the fuck up, all of you. Pause. The patter dialogue is absolutely atrocious. But this is a thing throughout New Trek. They don't know how to do patter dialogue, and here's the thing: if you want to know how to do patter dialogue really well, watch Deep Space Nine or Justified, because the patter dialogue on those shows is excellent. Okay, if you want to know how to do patter dialogue right, watch those shows. If you can't do patter dialogue, don't fucking do it. Don't write it. Because good patter dialogue is fantastic and creates memorable moments. Bad patter dialogue makes me wish a fucking comet hit wherever these characters are right now. Jesus. So they just start arguing about, like, she called it the godsend. One word. And they start arguing over, is it godsend or God's end? And derail the entire fucking conversation. Like, we're talking about cosmic Armageddon, and you're arguing with me about fucking pronunciation. Shut the fuck up. Shut him up or shut him down. Please just shut him down. It's another argument about how this thing from the mirror universe got there when A, it's supposed to be destroyed, B, it's in the fucking mirror universe. How did it get here? Play. What is that ship? That is not a 24th century ship. That's not even a 23rd century ship. That's not even a 25th century ship. Pause. It like ripples like it's made out of the stupid programmable matter stuff from Discovery. This does not look like a ship that belongs in this time period, but then again, New Trek. Nothing looks like it belongs when it is. Except for Lower Decks, but they're pretty much the only ones who tried. Like, Lower Decks was the only show that was actually trying to make a decent effort at matching the era the show was set in. So now they're gonna interrogate this guy. I can't wait for her to start eating his fucking eyeballs. And for the show to tell us that she's a good person. Alright, beatings. We're starting to torture. Pause. So, she just mentioned that her own war council tried to depose her. I want you to think about that for a second. The war council of the Terran Emperor tried to stop her from doing the things she was doing. When the fucking Terran Empire tries to stop you, and you're telling me this character can be redeemed? You're telling me this character is worth a shit? I don't fucking think so. Oh my god. They killed off Lorca for this character. They had Jason Isaacs as a, like, Shaw. Shaw shows up in Star Trek Picard Season 3 and everyone loves him because he's an anti-hero starship captain. And everybody's immediately just wants to see his further adventures because his character is layered. He's got stuff in his past that builds upon canon events or from Next Generation. And he's an anti-hero who his heart is in the right place, but he's not going to make the right decisions all the time. And people want to see that character reveal himself. Jason Isaacs as Shaw was basically the same as Lorca. Sorry, I felt that sneeze coming. Jason Isaacs as Lorca was basically a similar character. He's basically the only interesting character in season 1. Especially with the reveal of that he was from the mirror universe, which could have textured his actions so much going forward. But of course they had to waste him. They had to waste the guy trying to depose the genocidal cannibal emperor. Remember, he was a revolutionary who was trying to stop Georgiou. And that really is the worst of his crimes. Yeah, he lied to the Discovery crew. But he was also willing to be tortured for months. Like, without rest, to protect them. He was tortured. He was in a torture chamber. Forever. And he never gave them up. So, like, when you get down to it, like, sure he lied, sure he schemed, but he never betrayed anybody. You know, everything he was doing to rescue the people who had been following him. So, I think my allergies are starting to get the better of me. Jeez. My point is, they killed off Jason Isaacs' character to bring this character in. And I think that was one of the biggest, most fatal mistakes they could have possibly made. I feel like that was just one of the worst decisions in the history of a show that made nothing but bad decisions. I am at 43:48, hitting play. Okay, so this guy is from the mirror universe. Okay, pause. So, the reasoning for why so the weapon was stored at the facility he worked at. He decided to sell the weapon in the other universe. Like, in the quote-unquote main universe. He decided to sell the weapon there because the Terran Empire is collapsing in on itself. Which is not what fucking happened. So, Kirk, at the end of Mirror Mirror, this is in the 2260s, like towards the end of the 2260s. Kirk in Mirror Mirror tells Mirror Spock to use the Tantalus field, this sort of instant kill device on the Enterprise, to secure power, and so that he can take over the Empire and steer it down a more benevolent path, which we find out in Deep Space Nine is what he does. Spock succeeds. He reforms the Terran Empire. Widespread reforms that were popular. But as a result of this, it isn't that what he was doing was wrong. It's that he did them at precisely the worst possible time. because an alliance of species, the Klingons and Cardassians, in the Mirror Universe, then had an edge on the Terran Empire in terms of weapons and fleet strength, and they ravaged the Terran Empire and glassed Earth to the ground. Vulcan's gone, Romulus is gone, humans are enslaved. By the time Deep Space Nine rolls around, humans have been enslaved for decades. This is about the time, this is the 2320s. This is about the time that should be happening right now. That war. So, the Terran Empire did not collapse in on itself economically, or even, it didn't starve from resources. It was quite literally obliterated by a hostile force. So, tell me you've never seen Deep Space Nine without telling me you've never seen Deep Space Nine. Tell me you haven't even watched through a collection of Mirror Universe episodes before when you were writing this. Fun fact, when I was writing, as part of one of the Star Trek Adventures campaigns that I've run, one of my characters rolled an Anar. And I wanted to roll some specific mechanics for that Anar. I wanted to come up with specific mechanics for the Anar's telepathy, because he really wanted to make use of it. So, what I did was I went through and I watched a bunch of Star Trek episodes to research for it. I watched the Anar in particular. I watched Dark Page. I watched a couple episodes of Deep Space Nine. And what I really zeroed in on is this thing called psilocybin, which is a neurotransmitter in Star Trek that is directly influenced and influences psychic talent or psychic exposure, psionic exposure, essentially. And like when a powerful telepath has low psilocybin as a result of exerting themselves, bad stuff can happen. So I ended up basically giving him this table of like different levels of psychic exhaustion and what they do to people in proximity to him. I did my fucking research. And I wasn't even being paid to do it. It didn't even take me a long time. It took me an afternoon to come up with. But that's only because I actually gave a shit about what I was writing. You're telling me you can't at least watch Mirror Mirror and Through the Looking Glass? 2 episodes! 2! In preparation for writing this one miserable fucking script. People are being paid millions of dollars to write this shit. This garbage. And they can't even do it right. They don't even give a fuck. Jesus. I am at 45:01, hitting play. Whoa! They just stabbed the guy's eye out. Oh, and then their ship gets blown up. Yes, kill them all, please. Is this the Cyber Ninja? Oh yes, please blow up their ugly piece of shit starship. I'm in support of this. And now there's a guy stumbling out of it on fire, burning to death. Screaming. Yep, he just burned to death. Nobody helped him. Well, we know it's not... So they have a mole among them. We know it's not Rachel Garrett. Okay, so there's a mole in the team. Nobody trusts anybody. Suspicion is immediately cast on Garrett, but we know it's not Garrett. Although, that would require some fealty to canon, which we know that the writers of the show don't have. Why is the Cameloid bitching about... So the Cameloid is bitching about going out into the woods, potentially with someone who wants to kill him, to get an old rust bucket ship that they have working. But you're a Cameloid. You could just turn into like a fucking Mugato or something and like break them in two. You are pretty much the only one there who has nothing to worry about. Oh, God. If Zeph is the mole, so Zeph ran off, and they think he ran off with with the tchotchke they need. And the sky beam. None of the Elcars of the equipment they're using matches what the era should be. So apparently Zeph is a traitor. Oh no, not Zeph. I barely knew him. Nor did I care. Yeah, you're about 20 years too early for Elcars to look like that at all. You're about 30 years too early for that color scheme to be accurate. And Zeph is dead! He's all about that mecha death. You are all suspects. There is a ninja. Okay. Is this supposed to be Mirror Garrett? What are you talking about? No, you just tortured a guy. That's like torturing him for information. Or they're fixing to, anyways. My guess was that this is Garrett from the Mirror Universe. But once again, I think that I'm coming up with a much less stupid explanation than what they're going to show me. Yes, none of this is making any sense. So, pause. So, apparently, someone took over. I'm at 1 hour 12. Apparently, someone took over Zeph's suit and made him kill himself. Okay. So, then. Why does Rachel Garrett have his blood under her fingernails? And he's got like he had like a strand of her hair on him. So are they implied they were getting busy? Okay, whatever. So apparently somebody took control of his suit and made him kill himself. That would seem to imply the microscopic little, like, Robo-Vulcan, wouldn't it? Unpausing. Okay, so yeah, it was the little microscopic guy inside the Vulcan robot. This team is fucking sucks. Less than a day on this assignment, and 2 of them are dead. And 1 of them is a traitor. This team fucking sucks. Garrett actually asked no crew member, y'all shoot like fucking stormtroopers, Jesus! Oh, this looks like shit. Oh my god, this is pure. So they're like in like a railway fight underground, and this scene is pure epilepsy. Jesus Christ. Oh, this is all close-ups and shaky cam and blinking lights. This is terrible. Oh god, this is kind of hard to watch actually. And it's dark. How are there so many lights around you and it's just fucking dark? Stop cutting! Alright, so the Cameloid just turns into Spider-Man and saves the guy from falling off. Alright, and then Zeph gets pasted on the side, but he was a corpse, so whatever. I don't know how his corpse screamed, considering he was already dead. And now it's just Giorgio and the robot. But at least now we have a consistent fucking light source. Oh, and then Giorgio falls off the thing. Well, roll credits. That was section 31, everybody. It's a piece of shit. Oh, no. I couldn't even have that. Oh, so the ninja is Sam. Okay, I am paused at 105:55. I've had to pause less to get through this faster. Because, God, if I paused every time something stupid happened, this would be like 10 hours long. Unpausing. Alright, so Sans is gonna... And, okay, he got beamed away by Sans. Sans is going to give the galaxy a bad day. We're gonna have a bad day, because he's gonna use the Godsend to infect planets with the, with space aids and make them all blow up. What the fuck is that? What in the flying fuck is that? Yep, he was the cyber ninja. So... pausing. So I'm at 107.19, and apparently he's aboard the Terran version of La Serena or some shit. Because it sure as hell doesn't look like any kind of Starfleet vessel. There has been nothing in this show that has remotely resembled anything from Star Trek. Nothing. With, like, maybe the sole exception of the fucking Deltan, who got killed immediately. Like, would it have killed you to, like, have put him on, like, a mirror? Fuck, I don't know. Like a mirror New Orleans? Or like a mirror ambassador? A mirror ambassador class? Hey, a mirror universe ambassador class. Like, call it the Conqueror class or some shit? The Conquistador? That's what the mirror ambassador is called. It's called the Conquistador. That's what you call it. Put him on a Conquistador class, which at this point in time would be the pride of their fleet. Or a mirror Excelsior. Bring the Excelsior back. But of course, again, that would require A, familiarity with Star Trek lore, fealty to Star Trek canon, and it would require the writers to give a fuck, which we know they don't, and neither does Kurtzman. Because nobody who actually gave a shit about Star Trek in any way, shape, or form would have written this pile of trash. I am at 107.19, unpausing. Okay, at the very least, they're using the old school warp. They're using, like, the star streaks instead of the stupid hyperspace tunnel. So make that two things. Pause. So the plan is apparently to detonate the Godsend in this reality in order to blow up... Okay, so the Terran Empire is starving, it's collapsing, it needs resources. So their plan is to blow up all the resources! Scatter Starfleet so that they can invade, but all the planetary resources that they're trying to pillage would be exploded! Not a great plan. Pretty fucking stupid, in point of fact. Yeah. This is dumb. This is really dumb. Also, by the way, the Terran Empire is supposed to be fighting off the Alliance right now and losing. I just thought I'd mention that again. The Terran Empire is supposed to be fighting a losing war against the Alliance. They don't have shit for dick to invade the main universe with right now. They're not gonna have it. Because they're gonna lose. Because Terra is a glass floor. in Deep Space Nine. Vulcan is a glass floor. Romulus is gone. The Romulans are all but extinct. Like, the mirror universe is on its way to being a even worse dystopia than it was before. If you want a great if you want a great mirror universe story, say what you want about William Shatner. The man does have ideas, and sometimes those ideas turn out to be quite good. There's a book called Star Trek Spectre. If you want a mirror universe story, there's your fucking mirror universe story. Spectre. Read it. Or get the audiobook. It was co-written. Shatner was like the idea man for some elements of the plot, and then it was written by Judas and Garfield Reeves Stevens. Read that book. That's a good fucking book. Judas and Garfield Reeves Stevens, also writers for the shows. So these are two people who wrote for like Enterprise, like Deep Space Nine, Enterprise, Voyager, I think, as well. So this is a book written by people who write Star Trek about the mirror universe. And it's kind of a crossover of sorts, but I won't spoil that in case you do read it, which I suggest you do. It's good. I am at 108.07. The Terran's plot is stupid. Hitting play. Alright, they powered up the ship and still nothing looks the way it should. Even for, like, a shitty rust bucket. Alright, we're in part 3. We're in the end game now. So, pausing. So, this piece of shit garbage ship Its one offensive weapon is that it basically has tractor beam acne. It has like little tractor, like little like pustule tractor beam emitters all over the ship that just sort of like grab and drag in debris. And they were like, well, how could we use that as a weapon? And it's hexagons. It's made of hexagons because hexagons are the future. You know, hexagons mean futuristic. You can't have advanced technology without a few hexagons. You know what I? Oh, okay. Hate the show. Hate it. Well, that single torpedo hit fucked them over. Pause. Okay, so their tractor beams are less like beams and more like tractor tethers. How many thousands of dollars went into this effect? When all you really had to do was just draw one effect of just like a blue like beam, of a cascading blue beam on the thing. This is like one of the cheapest effects you could ever do. But I know where they're getting this from because I know where they stole season 3 of Discovery from. There was a show called Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda, where a ship of the Commonwealth High Guard, should sound familiar, gets sent forward hundreds of years after the fall of civilization, and they decide that they're gonna rebuild the system's Commonwealth. If this sounds familiar, it's because it's where season 3 of Discovery ripped off all of their story from. And Onward as well. You know, right down to the mysterious extragalactic species destroying planets, that was ripped out from Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda too. Literally everything they did. Like, the whole progenitor species seeding life in the universe, ripped off from Andromeda. And I'm not talking about the preservers. I'm talking about where they went with it in that season. Ripped off from Andromeda. All of it. Everything from the back half of Discovery, from season 3 onward, taken from that show. Which, it says a lot that Andromeda did it better considering Robert Hewitt Wolf, who was a Star Trek alum. He worked on Deep Space Nine and Voyager. It says a lot. Well, no, he didn't work on Voyager. He worked on Deep Space Nine. He was one of the main writers on Deep Space Nine. It says a lot that Andromeda did it all better considering the fact that Robert Hewitt Wolf was ousted by the star of the show, Kevin Sorbo, who is a fucking diva, who turned the show basically into the Kevin Sorbo Power Fantasy Hour, like halfway through season 3, and the show never, even the 5th season where everybody really hated his character for most of the season, was still very much, you all hate me, but you only hate me because I'm right, you know? That, just about everything that season 3 onward of Discovery did, Andromeda did better. But that's partially because it had at least had a guy who worked on Star Trek running it and setting it up and developing it. But Andromeda has a ship. There's 2 main ships in Andromeda. There's 2 hero ships. There's the Andromeda herself, which is this enormous fucking techno-miracle vessel. And then there's a Eureka Maru, which is this fucking rusted shitbox freighter with just 100 illegal modifications in it. And one of the primary means that this freighter has of doing things, of doing jobs in space, is through bucky cables. Bucky cables are basically big cables made of fullerene. Buckyballs, carbon nanotubes, essentially. Which they use to tow things in space because they don't have tractor beams. The way that they are depicting the tractor beams in this movie, I say all this to say this, the way they're depicting the tractor beams is exactly the way they depicted the Bucky cables in Andromeda. And this rusty shitbox looks a hell of a lot like the Eureka Maru. Right down to the way the cockpit looks. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying. Oh! And Andromeda did the whole living ship thing better than Discovery, too. By light years. Because the Andromeda is artificially intelligent and has its own ship-wide sentience. And this ship-wide sentience has a physical avatar as well. And they did all kinds of stories centered around this character, this composite character of ship, sentience, and avatar. Even having the 3 of them interact with each other at times, because they're in separate vehicles, essentially. You have the ship itself, you have the intelligence in the ship, and then you have the intelligent physical avatar of the ship. Sometimes the 3 of them didn't exactly agree with each other, because they're seeing things from separate points of view. It's like that whole thing where if you make a copy of yourself, the copy is only perfect up until the moment they were copied, and then from that point you diverge. It's kind of like that, where, like, from the moment the physical avatar comes online, she begins diverging from the ship-wide intelligence. They're still the same person, roughly, but things between them change over time. She is also played by Lexa Doig, which makes her immediately a million times better than being played by knockoff R2-D2 in Discovery. Yeah. Being knockoff astromech droids. I reiterate, fuck Discovery. And fuck Section 31. Fuck this show, man. I'm at 1:12:30. Hitting play. Yes, they're going to drag you to death. Alright, pause. This Terran ship has little bits sticking off of it that aren't attached to the ship. This fucking Terran ship doesn't look like anything from the 23rd century. It doesn't look like anything from the 24th century. It doesn't look like anything from the 25th century. Nothing in this fucking show looks the way it's supposed to. This looks like a completely different franchise. This is not Star Trek. 112.46, hitting play. Oh, God. Okay, so they're basically suicide diving into a plasma storm to bring down everybody's shields so they can beam. The transporters don't look like the transporters are supposed to. Sands' ship has, like, torch sconces and pyros built into it, apparently. Slow motion! Let's pad out this runtime. Oh, well, he's dead. The robot Vulcan just stabbed the augment guy in the back. Oh, they accidentally set off the ball of death. What? Pause. Okay, so apparently the microscopic little aliens ruled the universe before the Federation found them. Question, why didn't the Federation know about that? Why didn't anybody know about you then? Why didn't I know about you? Why aren't you in the Star Trek Encyclopedia? Why aren't you in the fucking chronology? Who the fuck are you? And why? And who? What? What? Please tell me this is not the new supervillain. This is not some new supervillain for New Trek. This is not... So, Alex Kurtzman... This tells you how gone Alex Kurtzman is, right? How gone he is. How out of his fucking mind he is. He describes Section 31 as the beginning of Star Trek Phase 2. Like it's Marvel. So he's planting a seed here of, like, they ruled the galaxy before the Federation and they'll rule the galaxy when it's gone. Which is the exact same boast the Dominion made, by the way. Like, when Sisko was forced to work with them. In one episode of DS9. Like, Wei Yun made that boast. The Dominion was around long before your Federation. It will be around long after your Federation. So, is he setting up a new villain? Is he setting up the Phase 2 villain? For Phase 2 of his Star Trek franchise? Is that what this is? With the fucking nanokin and shit? Because this movie's put a lot of emphasis on this guy. Is he gonna get away at the end of this movie? And that's the sequel hook. Is he got away? And he knows about the weapon or like some shit? Is he the new villain? This is so fucking dumb. This is so fucking stupid. So Giorgio is in a fist fight with Sans. She's having a bad day, as promised. And they accidentally bumped the ball. They bumped the holy hand grenade that spreads a planet boom virus. It's fucking stupid. That spreads the stupid that kills the planets. And now a detonation sequence is primed. And apparently it can't be diffused once it's started. So now they're ripping off the end of Wrath of Khan. Is this gonna go over to the Terran Empire and that's what they're gonna like say that this is the reason why the Terran Empire collapses? Because that's not what happened. At all. I think that's where they're heading though. But, as I said before, nobody writing this cares about fealty to canon. At all. Michelle Yeoh is engaging. He's getting away. Okay, so tiny guy escaped and fucked over the garbage scout. Now they're both falling into this thing. Pause. Okay, so Sans is talking about his empire. He's leading the empire. They're going to come through the portal. But we know that Intendant Spock is leading the empire right now. He's leading it into defeat because the Alliance is tearing it to pieces. I keep saying this like I expect anything that these numbskulls write to match up with actual canon. And I know that's not going to be the case. But I have to keep saying it just so that you understand how dumb this all is. Nothing makes sense here. Like, up is down, left is right. This movie sucks. I'm at 1:17:16. There's almost 20 minutes left in this fucking movie. If I wasn't recording this, I would not be watching this piece of shit. If I wasn't recording this, I would have stopped watching after the first 20 fucking minutes. And I would have been better off for it. God damn. Fuck me. 1:17:16, hitting play. Also, by the way, the Nanokeen is escaping. The little guy, little Robo-Vulcan pilot. He's currently escaping. Okay. She is now trying to appeal to his humanity. I could have told you that wasn't going to work, lady. Oh God. What the fuck? Pause. So, Garrett is like searching through the fucking cargo bay of the ship, humming about how she loves chaos, how chaos is her jam. Oh, God. Don't make me hate Rachel Garrett. Please do not make me hate Rachel Garrett. I'm so glad this is just a TV movie and not a show. But she finds a doll that apparently belongs to a species whom the Federation does not let their technology into the Federation because it's highly explosive. This doll apparently has the payload capacity of a photon torpedo. I hope I'm wrong, but I know I'm not. Oh, God. They're turning Rachel Garrett into, and I'm quoting Giorgio here, into a chaos goblin. And I just know that assuming Secret Hideout retains a contract, which after this disaster, I don't think they are. But one wouldn't think, but after Discovery, one wouldn't think they would either. But I just know that this portrayal will forever taint Rachel Garrett, any future portrayal of Rachel Garrett, as long as Secret Hideout is producing shit. Because this movie is Kurtzman's baby, and he has been working forever to make this thing happen since season 2 of Discovery, forever. So he is gonna reference it forever. Assuming he retains a contract, which, if I were Skydance, this would seal the deal. This would seal the deal on that. There's the door. Get the fuck out. If I were Skydance, I would seriously consider just paying the fee to get rid of Secret Hideout. Just paying them the fuck off money. Essentially. Like breach the contract, pay them the money, and tell them to go the fuck away. In other words, what Viacom, what CBS, what Viacom CBS, what CBS, what Viacom CBS, and what Paramount CBS, and finally what just Paramount Global should have done. After the disaster that was season 2 of Discovery. For those of you who don't know, season 2 of Discovery went monstrously over budget. Practically the whole season had to be reshot. This was the season. Filming the season 2 of Discovery was a film shoot so grueling that this is where the this is the season where Anson Mount, you know, the Pike guy who plays the most milquetoast portrayal of Captain Pike you can imagine, that guy, like straight up punched the director. I don't know if it was the director or if it was Kurtzman. It might have actually been Kurtzman. He might have just straight up taken a shot at Kurtzman. That's how grueling the fucking shoot was for season 2. You don't hear stories like that for like the other Star Trek shows. Especially not any that came before Star Trek Discovery. You hear Marina Sirtis talk about filming TNG, she says they laughed for 7 years straight. Deep Space Nine was a much more somber experience, according to the actors. Voyager was basically all practical jokes and laughter. The worst thing that was going on during the shooting of Voyager was apparently the flatulence wars between Tim Russ, Ethan Phillips, and allegedly Garrett Wang. Robert Duncan McNeil also. Apparently he was also in on that. Like they would just fucking crop dust people. Like if there was a shot, I'm stalling to buy time that I don't have to watch this movie. Can you tell? But apparently, like they would like wait. They would like eat meals and wait. For example, Ethan Phillips would like wait to be like in like the shuttlecraft set in a small contained compartment with a bunch of people before he would fucking crop dust the entire room. Like, Tim Russ would, like, drive by people on the bridge. Like, Voyager was basically just a fucking frat house with actors in it. Like, these shows were fun for the actors. These were shows that guest stars wanted to be on. Everybody wanted to be on fucking Star Trek. It was a cultural phenomenon. Tell me how this is going to be a cultural phenomenon. What cultural legs does this piece of shit have to stand on? Oh. There's 16 minutes left. I'm at 1:18:47. I'm hitting play. Just soccer kick the super weapon. This thing is going through to the mirror universe. Pause. What are you doing to Rachel Garrett? I am just a science officer, and science is just controlled chaos as she pours acid on the fucking photon torpedo doll and runs the fuck away screaming, chaos, 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 chaos. Who wrote this? One 1922, hitting play. Oh, he's beating the shit out of her and she's hugging him. You're not convincing me that Giorgio is repentant in any way, shape, or form. Pause. 120.40 is where I'm at. So, it turns out that the Cameloid doesn't know how to read the language operating the ship. He doesn't know how to read it. He's just been guessing the entire time. He has to push a button to open the cargo bay, but a button just like it may also self-destruct the ship. He's been flying. He flew this ship at warp. He has had no issue up until this point operating this ship, and suddenly he can't read the controls. Oh, God. The ship that was landed right next to their base of operations. The ship that he has knowledge of, that he knows how it works. He knew how the tractor beams works. He spent the entire time describing the functions of this vessel, and suddenly he doesn't know how to read the controls. Ugh. This is becoming genuinely painful. This movie is so bad, it's actually beginning to feel like a physical pain. Oh, God. Also, the doll looks like a fucking, whatever they're called, from Starbound. Like the fish people. 14 minutes left. 120.40. Okay, so you apparently picked the right button. Okay, that was pointless tension then. This guy has pulled out the Emperor's Sword, which should not exist because it was vaporized with Lorca. The Augment is fighting very well despite having been stabbed in the spine at the outset of this fight. Pause. Oh my God, I just realized what he is. He's Mac. He's Mac from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They've tried to make a Mac to lead this team. How dare you? How dare you? They didn't even give him a fucking shotgun axe. If you're gonna rip off Mac, at least rip him off right. 13 minutes left. 121.25. Let's get this over with. Good God. What the fuck is with this doll? This doll talks like Chucky. What the fuck? I was right. The doll lights up like a fucking photon torpedo. Oh. And now he's disfiguring her. Alright. Oh! I'm sorry, how the fuck does that even work? She kicked him and then he stabbed himself in the face. Oh no, he stabbed himself in the carotid. He takes a kick to the carotid with a sword and... yeah, he is not having a change of heart. Alright, she kicked him in the carotid artery with the sword, and now Sans is dead. They are going to send this thing sailing into the mirror universe. Yes, this is her repentance, killing billions more people. She's taking this thing into the mirror universe. Thing is, Are you saying that the lives of people in the mirror universe are inherently less valuable than the lives of people in this universe? Because you're still killing billions of people. Okay, so they beamed them off the ship in time at the last second. And there's the Star Trek sting that they overuse like crazy. Okay, and now the passageway sucked the entire nebula into it, and it's just you fucked over everybody in the Terran Empire. And we're back at the stupid ass bar. Are we gonna reintroduce her eating somebody again? Hello, Virgil, you're supposed to be dead. Oh, God. Yeah, well, let's all be friends now. Pause. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. So now everybody, all these characters, including Garrett, are just tongue-washing Giorgio over how terrible a person she is, and how into that they are. Fuck this show. Giorgio's like, I'm an unrepentant mass murderer, what? Oh, God, I want these characters to die. Well, I get that wish. Rachel Garrett bites the big one later, but... What are you doing to Rachel Garrett, man? What the fuck are you doing? Thank fuck this never went to series, what they do to Rachel Garrett. Who the fuck is that? Oh, okay. So this other Vulcan walks up. It's another Vulcan robot suit, and it has the other tiny guy's wife in it. The one that just that he's been saying is gonna lay like 190,000 eggs, and she's apparently piloting this male suit, walking around talking like fucking foghorn leghorn about what she's gonna do when she catches up to him. So he definitely survived that explosion. They're setting him up as the primary villain. This guy who looks and sounds like fucking Film Brain from back in the Channel Awesome days. That's the primary villain. Oh, God. Oh, God. It's so painful. This show sucks! I am at 1:30:42. There's 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in this piece of shit. Let's go. Control. Why does Control have Borg implants? So Control is Jamie Lee Curtis, apparently. Pausing. Jamie Lee Curtis has had fucking atrocious choices in career as of late. Like, especially with regards to Borderlands. Holy fuck. But everything about the Borderlands movie is fucking... Everything about that movie is wrong. Everything. And this is just like it. Everything about this movie is wrong. Also, apparently, Control is a job now. It's employment. Control has someone over her, telling her what to do in an organization with no command structure or headquarters, with no official recognition. An organization that does not exist. Is there an HR department? Could Control get fired for a microaggression? Like, fucking... Are you fucking serious? If Control makes bedroom eyes at at a Section 31 agent, does Control get dragged to a sensitivity meeting? Do they get forced to attend a seminar? Like, fucking... What the fuck do you mean it'll cost you your job? Who the fuck are you? Oh, God. 3 minutes, 53 seconds left. 1:31:19, go. Oh, God. And it ends with more of that dumbass patter dialogue. Jesus Christ. Based upon Star Trek created by Gene Roddenberry. No, it isn't! I'm watching until after the credits because I don't credit Kurtzman with any kind of fucking restraint. The man thinks he's Kevin Feige. Fuck, Kevin Feige isn't even Kevin Feige anymore. You know what Star Trek needs? It needs a fucking Ike Perlmutter. That's what it needs. Because Ike Perlmutter was the guy who got the ball rolling on the MCU. That could have been Terry Matalas. But that's not going to happen, apparently. Oh, God. I love how the entirety of New Trek has basically been every dumbass pitch that got rejected. From across every era. Like, they're doing Starfleet Academy. Starfleet Academy is a concept that was brought up and rejected so many fucking times over the course of this franchise's lifespan. And it was rejected by just about everybody who ever ran it until Alex Kurtzman. If you want Starfleet Academy, there's a book, there's a series of books, I think they're written by Kevin J. Anderson, about Worf and Starfleet Academy. Go read those books, they're good. And then read New Frontier and Starfleet Corps of Engineers, because those book series basically pick up after Starfleet Academy, with like a bunch of characters that are introduced there. Especially New Frontier, which you should be reading anyways. Especially after you watch this movie. Go read New Frontier. Experience actual Star Trek. Star Trek theme by Alexander Courage. Yeah, they will not stop spamming that theme. They're doing it again. Because, like, they think the more that they spam the original Star Trek theme, the better their show is. There's no after credits, is there? Thank fuck. Oh, thank God. That's it. Oh, I did it. I did it. I sat through section 31. Why have I done this to myself? I had to do this in 2 sittings. I did 2/3 of this movie in 1 sitting. I had planned to do them in 3. I've done terrible things to myself sitting here watching this crap. But I hope that you've been entertained. Because I haven't. I haven't at all. This is fucking terrible. Oh, God. I was doing this for, like, Picard back in the day, and I stopped doing it because I don't want to turn out like the fucking Spoonie one, where he just torments himself watching shitty wrestling for so long that he basically collapses from the inside. I don't want to do that to myself. No, thanks. I'm good. I'm so good. I I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up and look at the sun. I'm gonna not look at the sun. I'm gonna get up and walk into the sun. I'm just gonna let the sun, let the vitamin D soak into my body. And just remind me what happiness felt like. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. This is fucking awful. And it's boring. I am probably making this sound so much more exciting than it actually is. It's not. It's boring as fuck. It's boring. Like, this is like the last airbender of fucking Star Trek media. Okay? It's not just bad, it's boring and bad. I don't know what else I can fucking say that I haven't already said. So I'm just gonna leave it there, and you can enjoy my descent into madness. Yeah. Oof. Oh fuck. It's times like this I wish I drank. It's like never before. Like, I've seen shitty Star Trek. I grew up watching, like, there were episodes like Threshold and Genesis and Prophet and Lace and A Night in Sickbay. I've seen bad Star Trek, but I've never before seen Star Trek so bad. And I've watched fucking Discovery and the first few seasons of Picard and Strange New Worlds. I have never seen Star Trek that was so fucking bad it made me wish I was an alcoholic. That's how bad this is. Yeah. I'm gonna go do things. Cheerful things. Things that make me happy. And I hope you do too. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the time that you've been given. Treasure every moment. And don't waste them watching Section 31. I will see you guys later. Fuck this movie. Jesus!